In May of 1940, the world watched in horror as the British and other Allied forces faced a near-catastrophic disaster in France. The Nazi war machine was on the move. After years of tension, Europe was plunged into chaos in September 1939. Germany, led by the ruthless Adolf Hitler, invaded Poland. This act of aggression shattered any hope of peace. Great Britain and France, bound by treaties, declared war on Germany. World War II had begun. The early months of the war were marked by an eerie silence on the Western Front. This period, known as the Phony War, was deceptive. Behind the lines, both sides prepared for the inevitable clash. German forces, however, were already planning a lightning strike, their target France. In May 1940, the storm broke. The German army, with its revolutionary blitzkrieg tactics, smashed through the Ardennes forest. This was a bold move, unexpected by the Allies. Panic spread through the Allied ranks as the German advance seemed unstoppable. As we prepare to dive further into the events of Dunkirk, please be sure to support the channel by clicking the like button and subscribing to the channel so you can stay up to date on all of the latest videos. On May 10, 1940, the Nazi blitzkrieg attack began with the capture of several strategic bridges in the Netherlands by German paratroopers. This maneuver served to open the way for Germany's highly mobile ground forces to begin their advance into the country. The Dutch defenders fell back westward, and within 2 days German tanks were already nearing Rotterdam. Queen Wilhelmina and her government officials fled the country to Britain on May 13th, and the following day the Dutch army surrendered to the Germans. On the same day that the Germans began their invasion of the Netherlands, they also invaded Belgium and France, attacking the Allies on several fronts. The key to the French invasion lay on the shoulders of General Paul Ludwig von Kleist as he advanced his forces through the dense and hilly terrain of the Ardennes forest on the 10th of May. The Wehrmacht, the German army, was a force unlike any other. Highly mobile, well-equipped, disciplined, and ruthlessly commanded, they tore through the Allied defenses. Tanks, spearheaded by the 7th Panzer Division, under the command of the infamous General Erwin Rommel, advanced with lightning speed and exploited gaps in the enemy lines. The Luftwaffe, Germany's air force, dominated the skies, raining bombs on strategic targets and sowing terror among the fleeing refugees. The Allied armies, caught off guard and outmaneuvered, reeled under the onslaught. British and French forces, along with Belgian troops, fought bravely but were pushed back towards the English Channel. What had begun as a confident defense was quickly turning into a desperate fight for survival. The speed of the German advance was stunning. Within days, the British Expeditionary Force, BEF, sent to aid the French, found itself cut off. Their backs were to the sea, trapped in a shrinking pocket around the port of Dunkirk. The situation seemed hopeless. Dunkirk, the very name, evoked images of chaos, fear, and impending disaster. On the beaches, stretching for miles, a sea of humanity awaited its fate. Over 330,000 Allied soldiers, surrounded by the enemy, clung to the hope of escape. The air was thick with the stench of fear, diesel, and the acrid smoke of burning vehicles. The Luftwaffe, relentless in its pursuit, targeted the trapped soldiers. Stuka dive bombers, with their terrifying sirens, swooped low, strafing the beaches and bombing any vessel attempting to evacuate the beleaguered troops. The Royal Air Force, RAF, though outnumbered, fought valiantly to provide air cover, but the situation remained dire. Amidst the chaos, a sense of order, however fragile, began to emerge. British officers, determined to save as many men as possible, organized the evacuation. Little did they know that this operation, codenamed Operation Dynamo, would become one of the most remarkable feats of military history. Across the English Channel, the gravity of the situation was clear. Winston Churchill, the newly appointed Prime Minister, authorized Operation Dynamo, the evacuation of British and Allied forces from Dunkirk. It was a monumental task. The Royal Navy, along with a flotilla of civilian vessels, answered the call. From fishing boats to pleasure crafts, every available vessel, large and small, set sail for Dunkirk. These little ships, crewed by ordinary men and women, braved enemy fire and treacherous seas to rescue their countrymen. The spirit of defiance, of unity in the face of adversity, was palpable. As the evacuation got underway, a sense of urgency gripped the beaches of Dunkirk. Soldiers, exhausted and demoralized, queued for hours, hoping to board a ship. The waiting, under constant threat of air attack, was agonizing, yet amidst the fear, acts of courage and selflessness shone through. The evacuation, initially planned to rescue a fraction of the trapped soldiers, gained momentum with each passing day. Naval vessels, working tirelessly, ferried troops from the beaches to larger ships waiting further out at sea. The Luftwaffe continued its attacks, but the sheer scale of the operation and the tenacity of those involved proved overwhelming. Stories of heroism abounded. Soldiers, putting the lives of their comrades before their own, helped load ships, often refusing to board until others were safe. Medical personnel worked tirelessly, tending to the wounded under the most harrowing conditions. The human spirit, tested to its limits, refused to break. Over 9 days and nights, the evacuation continued. From May 26th to June 4th, 1940, an armada of hope sailed back and forth across the English Channel. Against all odds, a miracle was unfolding on the beaches of Dunkirk. What had seemed like certain defeat was transformed into a testament to human courage and resilience. The events at Dunkirk produced countless acts of individual bravery, turning ordinary men into heroes. Among them was Captain William Tennant, the Royal Navy officer tasked with organizing the evacuation from the beaches. Ever the example of classic British composure, his calm demeanor and unwavering determination proved vital in maintaining order amidst the chaos. In the air, the pilots of the Royal Air Force, vastly outnumbered, fought with incredible skill and courage. Squadron leader Brian Lane, flying Hurricanes in defense of the evacuation fleet, became an ace in a single day, shooting down 5 enemy aircraft. Their sacrifice helped buy precious time for the evacuation to continue. While the evacuation from Dunkirk was a remarkable feat of logistics and human endurance, it came at a heavy price. Thousands of Allied soldiers were left behind, captured by the advancing German forces. The beaches were littered with abandoned equipment, tanks, trucks, artillery pieces, a stark reminder of the suddenness and ferocity of the German blitzkrieg. The Royal Air Force, despite its heroic efforts, suffered heavy losses during the evacuation. Over 100 aircraft were lost in combat, along with many experienced pilots. These losses would have a significant impact on the Battle of Britain, which was to follow just weeks later. Despite the losses, the evacuation of over 330,000 Allied troops from Dunkirk was a significant achievement. These men, though defeated in France, would live to fight another day, forming the nucleus of a future Allied army that would eventually return to liberate Europe. The question of whether Dunkirk was a victory or a defeat is complex. From a purely military standpoint, it was undoubtedly a retreat, a defeat snatched from the jaws of victory by the Germans. The British Expeditionary Force had been routed, its equipment lost, its morale shaken. However, Dunkirk also represented something else entirely. It was a testament to the determination of the Allied forces and their refusal to accept defeat. The evacuation, hailed as a miracle by many, boosted British morale at a time when it was desperately needed. It demonstrated the solidarity of the Allied cause and the willingness of ordinary people to make extraordinary sacrifices. Dunkirk also bought Britain valuable time. The hundreds of thousands of troops evacuated from France would form the backbone of the defense of Britain in the face of the expected German invasion. The experience, though traumatic, would forge a steely determination in the hearts of those who had lived through it. The legacy of Dunkirk extends far beyond the events of May and June 1940. It serves as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, hope, courage, and determination can prevail. The evacuation, a testament to human resilience, continues to inspire generations. Today, the beaches of Dunkirk are a place of pilgrimage. Visitors come to pay homage to the bravery of those who fought and died there, to remember the sacrifices made and to reflect on the enduring power of the human spirit. The memory of Dunkirk serves as a stark reminder of the horrors of war and the importance of peace. The Dunkirk spirit, born on those beaches, would become a beacon of hope during Britain's darkest hour, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a nation unwilling to surrender. If you enjoyed this video today, then please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ensure you turn on post notifications. That way you never miss an episode. Be sure to join us on the next historical journey. We are the Minutemen of History.